Today is day 38 and it's looking like I will be doing an update every day until the lockdown, or rather until the circuit breaker is over. I've actually rediscovered certain things, during this circuit breaker. Like for example, my trusty Lumix GH5 that I've been using for the last 3 years. Now take note, I consider myself a part-time YouTuber. I'm not a full-time YouTuber, okay? With the money I make, which is like 80 bucks or 60 bucks a month, it's obviously not enough pocket money for myself. But the fact that I see YouTube as a platform for me to share some of my interests with the like-minded individuals out there. And thank you to all my subscribers who's sticking around, and for all the new subscribers. Anyway, I would like to just highlight something very interesting about my GH5. I rediscovered Vlog, so today's video is actually filmed in Vlog, and I will then color grade it with a custom LUT, and it's quite interesting. What is a LUT? A LUT is a lookup table. So in fact, over the last 3 years, there have been so many free LUTs that's available on several websites, even on Panasonic's own website, that I actually have quite a bit of fun just color grading it, just like drag and drop, load a different color profile, and that's actually quite interesting. I think the circuit breaker actually gave me a little bit more time to get more familiar, with my GH5. So I hope that you out there watching this is finding it a little bit more pleasing to the eye, I hope. And yeah, overall that's great. Other than that, I would like to talk a little bit about Sovereign Riders Singapore. It's unusual for a company to thrive during such times. It's also unusual for any sort of endeavor to thrive, but I'm actually quite happy to say that SRS is actually thriving in such an adversarial environment. A lot of people are waking up to the reality that you can actually reach out to independent delivery people on their own. And take note, over the last couple of weeks, what seems to be a lot clearer right now is that Sovereign Riders Singapore solves 3 things, right? It connects the merchant or the job requester direct to the driver. You have better follow-up, and when I say better follow-up, you can actually liaise directly with the rider to make sure that the delivery actually goes through. Alright, and obviously the responsibility and the onus would be on the rider or the driver to make sure the job is done, because then he will actually be paid for the job. So I think all that is actually quite cool. Alright, and I think the second aspect would also be data collection. Because it's a chat group, we don't collect data. It's not a company, so it preserves everyone's privacy in that manner. Now the third thing, and this is something that came up quite a bit during Mother's Day, there was a huge fiasco with all these online platforms. People were placing orders, people were receiving their orders late. Now that's the problem. The relationship for the independent rider is always with the app, right? With the online delivery app. So you can't really prevent people from whipping out their phones, looking at the app and say, okay, today's Mother's Day, I'm gonna place my orders right now. I run a brick and mortar store, so I am definitely well aware of what happens with all these online delivery apps. The orders will be open, the orders will still come in, and because everybody, or rather the merchants, also want to make sure that the orders are fulfilled, they have no way. It's basically crunch time, and then orders get piled up. I'm sure you saw it on Storm, you saw it on Mothership, and everyone received their orders like 3 hours later, 2 hours later. There was a birthday cake that was delivered and it was like smashed. It looks totally different from the picture. Well, if you are a rider accepting all these jobs, stacking all these orders, you can only imagine the urgency that they go from point A to point B. And I've seen some of these riders in action, man. The corners they take It's I don't see how the cake can still remain upright, right? That's number one. So I think with sovereign riders, if we get more people, more riders to join the group, the platform. So bottom line is, we need more riders to join this community-driven movement, and in the hope that, you know, once we have more riders joining the platform, obviously we could migrate from Telegram to something more interactive. But given the current numbers, the Telegram chat group is actually solving real problems. We are doing anything from 50 to more than 100 deliveries a day. We have about 1,600 members in the group chat now. Definitely saving the money for merchants in general, especially the merchants. No one's getting fleeced. There is no middleman. It's highly optimized for performing its primary function. And its primary function is to connect a person looking for a delivery personnel, right? And that's its primary function. My friends and myself, we use the chat group to locate drivers or riders at times. Now, how would this actually resolve the problem that we experience on Mother's Day? Well, I wouldn't say that it's gonna 100% remove that, but at least there would be more responsibility on the establishment trying to locate their drivers, rather than leave it to the randomness of the app. Meaning to say that when you receive these orders, you just have to act. You know, you could be busy in the kitchen. Look, all F&B operators, right? We all run a very lean operation, okay? So if you have an external app that just sits there printing out receipts versus a merchant handling their own delivery orders, trust me, the experience would be somewhat different, because the merchant would be there receiving the order, checking online, receiving it via email, and then you'll be like, okay, orders are stacking up, we better give the customers a call. So I guess that's some of the differences, okay, and that's something that we hope over time can improve. There are several suggestions that are made by the community members, so we'll see. Overall, we're actually, you know, putting some power back into the hands of the business owners, the entrepreneurs, and home-based businesses. In fact, for anyone who needs a delivery done. And also, just before I conclude, a gentle reminder to everyone out there: if you care about the local F&B businesses in Singapore, do place your orders online with the establishment. Do self-collection if possible, and avoid those online delivery apps as much as possible. I mean, we're not talking chain stores here, you know, we're talking about brick and mortar stores, you know, the hawkers, the food establishments. They are the ones who will appreciate it from the bottom of their hearts if you were to place orders directly with them. And the most ideal situation would be to do your own pickup. On behalf of the F&B industry, I thank you. Thank you. So I guess today's video is really just an update about Sovereign Riders Singapore. If you guys haven't joined, if you think the chat group can help someone, do share it with them. I don't think they'll be disappointed. Till next time, you guys take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.